There we go. That's what I'm trying to do. So we're going to do a more serious reaction today, if that makes sense. So, as someone with this, I feel that it's been, I don't know, this is going to be like a new series I'm going to start where I react to more serious topics to spread awareness and maybe just get my commentary on them. I might have done a couple of these in the past, but yeah, I'm going to start with this one because I have this and I feel the same way. So and I watched part of it and I felt like his logic made sense. So let's just see what he has to say.
So this is probably something that not everyone's going to be able to understand because it doesn't look like that from the outside. But rejection is the story of my life. If I had to give an analogy of what it's like to be around other people, it's almost as though they're this massive school of fish and they're all around me and I move through them and they just get out of my way and don't interact with me at all.
Yeah, pretty much my story too.
That's how it feels a lot of the time. They're all moving in some kind of unison that I'm just don't seem to quite understand, and they're all connecting with each other. And every time I make a move, it's like there was someone there and now there's no one there. And that's especially true whenever I try and lean on someone as a friend. So
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's like I totally feel what he's saying, and I agree with it 100% because he's right. Like I've tried to reach out to people on so many occasions, and like I remember I joined a service trip, and it's like everyone was had these like inside jokes, and they were talking about stuff, and I was never in on any of it. And it's just like that with everything, you know. You try to get in on anything, and everyone just runs away like a bunch of cowards, you know. Not once caring how they make you feel because that's just what they do. But yeah, and I mean it's he's right that no one understands this because my sister has like 50,000 friends and she doesn't understand that what it's like to be alone. You know, she's just like, oh, we'll go make friends or oh, deal with it. It's like you don't like I haven't tried. You don't know what it's like, and you don't even try to understand what it's like because you have a bunch of friends that you can talk to about a bunch of stuff. I have like no one. I mean, I have friends, but good luck. I mean, a lot of them you can't have deep conversations with, and that's right about you can't really lean on anyone anyways. You know, I'm really shy and I want someone's help to maybe go out and meet some chicks because I can't do it on my own. But instead of ever helping me, everyone just is like, "Oh, well, it's up to you." No, you're my friend. You're supposed to help me with that stuff. I mean, maybe I can get my feet under me if I get some practice under my belt, but I need to get to that point. You're not even helping me get to that point. And it's silly because a lot of the time they want someone too. So it's like, why wouldn't you go? You know, it makes no sense. Very least, it shows you're a terrible friend.
especially around strangers, I'm someone who's hyper aware of the reaction that other people have to me, which means that I bend over backwards to make sure that other people feel comfortable around me, essentially going out of the way to modify my behavior based on the situation and how people react to me. So everyone loves me when I'm able to do that. So long as I don't do anything weird, so long as
Yeah, because again, it's true. It's like everyone keeps telling me, you do this, you do that. Why is it my job to do all this stuff? Why don't you meet me halfway ever? That's not fair to me that I have to change myself so much because of these bogus social standards. It really isn't right, you know? It's serious bullshit. It's like everyone's, you know, whatever happened to be yourself? Well, no, yeah, be yourself as long as it's not deviant in any way, shape, or form. As soon as it's that, fuck that. We don't want to deal with it because we're assholes who just want perfection. I'm sorry, but I just get so sick of this. Like, people are way too judgmental. You go to certain events, you don't wear the right clothes, they judge you. You say things, they judge you. You're socially awkward, they judge you. Just, can you stop judging? You're not a court. Stop judging.
I'm making them feel good, and so long as I don't ask anything in return, everyone loves me. It's fine. The difficult
Yeah, that's seriously true. I mean, you know, everyone loves you until you want something. Then they just fly. They just flee because can't have that. That would actually require me to be a decent human being, and once I don't get things out of it, I'm done.
is you can imagine how much energy that takes from me all the time.
True that, bro. True that.
Constantly making sure that my behavior is what someone else wants it to be so that they don't feel awkward, so that they don't have to do anything, so that they feel comfortable around me.
And I love how he's emphasizing they, because that really is the truth. It's all about them. No one ever thinks about how you feel having to constantly do this. It's always about them. And that is totally unfair.
And then every once in a while, I run out of energy. And when I run out of energy, I don't have the resources to continue to filter my actions to make sure that it's what someone else expects and what someone else is going to react positively to. Without that filter, I come across as a little bit weird. And I'm not talking about the cool, different type of weird. I'm talking about the kind of weird that people just ignore and hope it goes away.
I can't disagree with anything this man said in this video because I feel all of it.
That's my experience of being ignored until I go away. And when I have nothing left to give, I actually need help from other people. But the problem is that the less I am able to keep it up, the less other people are happy to be around me. And so it's like that school of fish analogy where
I mean, this is literally the fucking story of my life. It really is. I need emotional support from people a lot, I feel, but no one ever gives it to me. And everyone just expects that that's acceptable. It's like, no, it's not. You know, I give that. I feel like a bank account. I feel like in all my relationships, I have to give, give, give. And then when I say, hey, my funds are running low, I need some cash infusion. Oh, no, we don't want to do that. This man is speaking the 100% truth and he's putting it in great words. Keep it up. This needs to be said.
I go to lean on someone and all of a sudden there's just no one there anymore. There would seem to be so many people and now they've just all vanished. Unfortunately, it's a very natural instinct to ostracize people that act differently. Think about how a crowded train treats that one crazy guy who's just mumbling to himself or screaming or something like that. It makes people feel uncomfortable and they don't know what to do and they just
So that totally justifies ostracization. No, it doesn't.
ignore you until you go away. And that's how I see a lot of people deal with me when my filter goes down. So unfortunately, the more I reach out to people, the more I need to reach out to people, the less likely it is that anyone's going to reciprocate.
I mean, again, story of my freaking life. I really have very few individuals, if any, that I would feel safe trusting in something serious. You know, if some, and everyone wonders why I give them such a hard time. It's like, well, geez, you're not there for me. You know, you like my own situation. I'm not gonna lie, my folks do a lot for me, but at the same time, you know, that when it comes to emotional support, they are awful. And no one seems to understand that. They just see, oh, well, they do all these things for you, so how dare you have a problem with them? You do not know what it's like. They fight me constantly and on things that make no freaking sense. They're very bossy and pushy, and they tend to get what they want even when it's not what I want. You know, yeah, I'm not going to be happy about that. Sue me. But instead of ever trying to understand that, they just say, oh, well, he's an ingrate and dismiss me. Even though I'm dying, I need your support. I need someone I can talk to who's not going to give me a freaking hard time and understands what I'm going through. But no one ever does that because they're selfish. Either selfish or lazy, too lazy to actually even try to understand what's going on. It'd be amazing if someone actually tried. Maybe they'd see that I'm right.
And again, how that situation usually plays out is I have a tiny, tiny little bit of energy left, and I reach out to as many people as I can think of, rejected by every single one of them until I've got absolutely nothing left and I'm completely alone. And the bonus of that situation, the real positive side, is that I don't have any energy to reach out to anyone else, and no one is around to reach out to anyway. And the reason that's a really good situation is because I don't waste my energy trying to reach out to people, which means I start slowly building up my energy again. Until eventually I've recovered enough that I can go out back into the world and be that strong person that everyone needs me to be. We have phrases like the straw that broke the camel's back. It's so difficult to explain to someone when they don't see what those straws are. In the past, when I've tried to speak to people about this, inevitably, I'm told that that's just the way life works.
And that's what's called a bullshit excuse, because people could easily change their behavior and try to be more understanding, but no, we don't want to admit that we're wrong, so you're the weirdo, and we're going to point fingers at you instead.
People don't always respond. You can't just reach out to someone and expect them to reach out back. You need to build that relationship first. I'm like, well, I tried that. We were friends for a long time, and this is the first time I've reached out to you, and now you're telling me that you don't have time for me anymore, or it's too much. Perfect example is my ex-wife. We were together for 8 years, and the first time I needed help, our whole relationship fell apart. It's like I'm on the edge of a cliff, literally hanging on by my fingertips and trying to get someone's attention, like, guys, hey, guys, little help. And eventually I'm shouting, and then I get told off for shouting and being inappropriate. And if you'd only done this the socially appropriate way, you...
Well, my response to that is if you'd only listened. So this man is... I'm giving you a clap because you're right. Everything you've said, I agree 100% with.
would have got help, and there wouldn't have been any problem. Wouldn't that have been much easier?
Because, geez, it's not like I just up and decide. It's like I totally up and decided to act socially inappropriate. It's not like something drove me to that point or anything. No, couldn't be.
Yeah, much easier. Thanks, guys. I suspect one reason that I'm constantly told that...
Well, I'm going to go back over it again.
And eventually I'm shouting, and then I get told off for shouting and being inappropriate. And if you'd only done this the socially appropriate way, you would have got help, and there wouldn't have been any problem.
Yeah, sure. I believe you. I call ace high. Your bluff is no good. I win.
Wouldn't that have been much easier? Yeah, much easier. Thanks, guys. I suspect one reason that I'm constantly told that I'm overreacting is because there is no one big thing. It's just my daily reality. Why aren't you dancing? Why aren't you talking? Why aren't you participating in the same way that everyone else does? What's wrong with you? And sure, most of the time it's like water off a duck's back. But have you ever hit a duck with a water cannon? Right? They don't pull up so well. It's not about the water, it's about the volume and consistency.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Real life takes its toll, and people as a whole do not empathize well with that. Like, literally, I have no one I can talk to about this because, I mean, real life gives me a freaking hard time too, but I feel like I have no one I can talk to about this because so many people have just basically blown me off and acted like it's not a big deal and not been there when I needed it, that it's like, why even bother? You know, you're honestly hurting yourself more because you lean on these people thinking, oh, well, this person is trustworthy, I can talk to them, and then they backstab you and call you out. It's like, now I'm even worse off than before because not only do I have real life to have to worry about, I have this asshole who's not supporting me like they're supposed to be, giving me a hard time too and adding to it. So I'm really worried to even open up to people because of crap like this. You know, it's like, sorry, like you don't know what it's like to live the way this man's talking. Like everything he's saying is a lot of how I feel, and it's every day in and day out. Eventually you get a smidge tired of the way things are and want things to be better. Why can't they be better? Why aren't they better? You know they should be better, but they're not. And eventually you're just like, why is this the case?
I see people swimming around me and passing me by. I know they can see me, but they choose not to interact with me. And again, people say it's normal, it happens to everyone. But essentially, that's just a way for people to move out of the way when I try and lean on them, and to justify to themselves that there wasn't anything that I really needed help with.
Yeah, again, it is a lot on them. You know, I agree. It's a lot of selfishness on their part. They don't want to help. They just want help. And they want to make up. And I feel like a lot of times, I can't obviously speak for everybody, but I feel like that is the truth a lot of times. You know, people, it's all well and good when you're the one getting support, but when you need to give it out, it's not so fun, you know? So you try to make up excuses like, well, I don't really want to do this, so I'm going to try to convince myself and everyone else that I have a real reason not to, even though I really know deep down I don't. If that makes sense. And obviously I can't speak for everybody, but I mean, I feel like that is the truth for a lot of them. You know, it's a lot of selfishness on their part. But as this man's saying, because he's the one, or we are the ones who act a little bit quote unquote weird, no one ever points to the selfish people and says, that's bullshit. You should be more empathetic and be more reasonable. They point to us and say, well, you shouldn't have acted that way. And the selfish people never get properly reprimanded for their behavior, so they keep it up and they never improve.
Which is, again, a perfect example of just not being seen. Even when I'm standing straight in front of someone, even when I'm saying those words directly to someone, they still choose not to see me. They choose not to see my experience, and they choose to avoid the situation instead of respond to me, which again is ironic because in the process of trying to reach out and asking for help, I'm pushed away even further.
I know,
Thanks,
right?
guys. So I guess this hasn't been an overly positive video, but I guess the whole point of me trying to explain this is so that if someone confides in you that something is really, really difficult, it probably is, and it really doesn't help to tell them that it should be fine, or tell them that the problem is in something about how they're going about fixing.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, take that away.
Maybe the problem is in how other people fail to respond to the call for help. And that will do for today. Thanks for watching. Bye.
I agree with everything he said. I really agree with everything this man has said. And you know what I'm going to do? Here, let's do this right now. There you go. And let's add the little bell, too, so I can see when this guy makes more of them. Everything he said, I agree 100% with. And if there's one thing that we need to take away from this, if you are someone who someone confides in, try to be empathetic. Try to understand where they're coming from. Don't just instantly dismiss them as being, oh, they're overreacting or they're crazy just because you don't immediately understand what it is that they're upset about. Try to put yourself in their shoes and understand what it's like. At least try that. Sincerely try it. Not just, and I mean sincerely try it too. Like, not just try for 2 seconds just so you can say, oh, I tried and it didn't work. Seriously try. And even if you don't understand exactly what's bothering someone or exactly why someone's upset, still be there for them, still support them when needed. You know, clearly something's bothering them, even if you don't, and even if you don't think it's something worth being upset about, or you don't think that it's something that warrants that much of a response, they're clearly upset. They need your support. Just give them the damn support, please. So yeah, I'm gonna, I guess, just finish this out technically. So there you go. It's done. I'm going to try more of these serious reactions because I feel like there's a lot of serious problems in this world, and I want to address them and call attention to them where necessary, and maybe just give my commentary on them, and maybe I can, if I can improve, like let people know, hey, this is garbage. Maybe someone will do something about it. Maybe someone will watch these videos and say, gee, I do that. I'm going to stop doing that. And the next time someone comes to them with a problem, they'll actually listen. Because part of it might be a lack of awareness. Part of it might be, I don't know that this is a problem because I never really think about it. You know, I just do it and I don't really think, maybe I should be doing this differently. And maybe if I point this out, some of the viewers can say, you know what, I do that and I shouldn't do that. I'm going to stop doing that. So yeah. Agree 100%. You're not the only one, man.